Hello and welcome to the Annapurna Interactive Showcase. This showcase is a bit slower than a lot of the other ones, than like a state of play and stuff like that. It's a bit more of a vibe. It's developer interviews and that kind of thing. Sometimes it's even games that aren't even announced yet. It's just a developer talking about a game they're making. It's very much a different kind of showcase than usual. However, Annapurna in history is one of, if not my favorite publisher. I love the games they make. I love the stuff they put out. However, they recently went through a massive restructuring where the bulk of their publishing team, I could be wrong on that, it might have been like the developer team, it might have been both, have left the studio. They also have a new CEO as well. So, the Annapurna that we know today isn't really the Annapurna of like last year. It's a different kind of Annapurna. So, I'm excited for this showcase and the games that will be announced here. I'm still looking forward to the games that Annapurna publishes, but I am hesitant because there is a massive possibility that, again, the Annapurna that we had is gone, so maybe this new Annapurna doesn't have the same mark of quality as the previous one did, if that makes sense. But let's dive in. I talked about it last time, yesterday when we watched a different showcase. I'm doing showcases differently now. If I have a lot to yap about, then I'm going to pause the showcase and we're going to talk and conversate, including if chat has a lot to say. Oh, hi, it's you. There's news from Annapurna. News? We know they have games coming in 2025, but don't be dramatic. They're literally going to share updates right now. They've gathered developers from all over the world to a place called Los Angeles. Are we talking trailers, spotlights? What are we dealing with here? I think that we have to stick around to find out. Alright, let's stick around. I think we should head back to the Zero. Well, get the show started. Yeah, they're using the old games to get people's attention, and usually there's a host that says stuff like that. It has been the last few ones. I also noticed that this one is shorter than the previous ones as well. So,
I love riding bikes.
I don't know.
I love switching out parts on my bike to make that experience feel different. You're so connected to the bike itself, and the way the bike is built determines how you flow through, whether it's just the street or the trails. It's just a beautiful way to get around.
Mark made me my dream bike of a mini velo, which is a very cool geometrically sized bike. It's kind of squat, long. It is a utility bike.
Cool.
I can go shopping and throw groceries in there. I bike to my yoga studio. I mean, we're Venice parents now, right?
We met at the Indiecade booth. I believe it was E3.
We had a lot of mutual friends, and we kind of kept meeting.
Yeah, quickly hit it off. We're definitely interested in the same kinds of games.
I just finished graduate school, and we would be talking about mess-off work. Then our mess-off work ended up becoming enough work for both of us. That
Are these
we
the developers of Nidhogg?
our USC jobs and starting full-time mess-off in earnest.
Sometimes I go out and I don't necessarily know where I'm going to go on a bike ride. I'll just go. Wheel World's like that. You know, it's open.
Oh!
You might start playing thinking
This
you
was
want
on our
to,
demos
and
list.
then maybe you just bike around and that's okay.
Wheel World is our most ambitious project. This is the first time that we've really staffed up. There are 10 of us, which is really fun to work with a real team. And going from 2D to 3D, we really didn't know what we were getting into.
I think we were just thinking about, what if we made a game that's like totally out of our wheelhouse? What if the opportunity came up and we could make a long single-player experience? I always want to make games that anyone can play. We want to keep the button count down. We want to like keep it simple. You can really just hang out.
Yes, these are the developers of Nidhogg.
In previous games, you don't really have to do any of the challenges if you don't want to. You can just like cruise around and appreciate the scenery. I wanted to capture that feeling when you're on a bike and you can go anywhere. There's things you'll discover.
I was making sure that they're the devs of Nidhogg and that wasn't just like an arcade machine that they just happened to have.
Different place than you might have.
We're really hoping that this is something that people play and they're like, wow, this reminds me of certain games, but I've never played anything like it before. That's really important to all of us.
You know, if everyone
Nidhogg 1 was a really good game. Nidhogg 2 a little less so, but Nidhogg 1 was a really good game. Game Pass. I like that.
Get your coffee yet?
Well, I left it outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I thought I was not. But now here I see everyone has their coffee. All right, I'm gonna go get my coffee. I'm Davey. I'm the
Hi, Davey.
creative director on Wanderstop.
I'm Patrick.
Hey, I'm looking forward to your game.
Slash lead producer.
I mean, yeah, tell me what's
Hi, Patrick. I'm looking forward to your game.
That's what's happened. We actually, yeah. I have a history of releasing games without really saying very much about them and trying to shroud them in mystery as much as possible. Our team has really coaxed me out of my shell a little bit and convinced me to begin like actually saying things directly about what the game is. And Wanderstop is a narrative-centric, cozy game about people going through changes that they don't necessarily want to be going through.
I'm really looking forward to this one.
Seeing how they react.
I believe it comes out next month. Yep.
25, and we really can't wait to see what y'all.
So I'm gonna have to wait a minute before we dive into it because I just spent a lot of money on Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'm about to spend more money on a passport. I can't afford jack shit right now. And B, Monster Hunter. So we're gonna have to wait on it, but I'm really looking forward to this game. When we are eventually able to get around to it. So we should gift you games? I mean, money's good. So man, I just opened a cool Patreon that you can get on for $1 and you get a bunch of extra stuff. Man, that's crazy. I know for a fact that Quack isn't paying attention right now because if she was, she would be so autistically attached to that bird. So I know for a fact that Quack is not paying attention right now because of that bird.
Computer. Uncle worked in computer networking, and he gave us our first computer. He built it himself, and my siblings and I were messing around.
Was that Walter White? Huh.
Our first computer. He built it himself, and my siblings and I were messing around with it, and we found a folder called Games in it. Pretty much from that point on, I just really loved just playing video games. My name is Brendan Chung, and I'm the creative director
Hi, Brendan.
Video Games. Kind of back in the day, they used to release the tools that they used to make the game with the game.
Yeah, I have that
It's
microphone.
a big hobby of mine. And
Not right now.
I made a ton of mods, and maps, and art for games like Quake and Half-Life. Doing that led to working at a game studio. So in 2010, the studio I was working at got shut down, and I decided to start Blendo Games at that point. They're trying to fly us to their base.
If they get there, they'll steal the cargo and hold us for ransom.
Wait, I think that's my line.
Oh, that's your line. Never mind. We wanted to work together for a really long time. We'd had the sense that we have kind of the same sensibility when it comes to story and comedy, and that we knew we could make something together that would be really cool. My name is Laura Mache, and I'm handling
Laura.
the narrative stuff on Skin Deep.
Skin Deep started.
Where have I heard of Skin Deep before?
2018. I'd say this is the largest project we've taken on
When I first started writing for games, one of the most exciting things about that was working with artists.
Does Skin Deep seem familiar to you? I remember, I feel like I've heard of this.
Stories that I was telling.
Having friends and a community is something that is really important for any creative project. You need other people to make things work. Share screen. I love our team. We are all like different parts of...
What happened? There was a really cool bird that you would have loved.
Group call. Just from day one, they just understood the vibe of the game.
We'll go back to it later if I forget. If I don't forget. If I do forget, then we won't.
Very sincerely and very earnestly. We have Suzanne and Tynan.
Hi, Suzanne.
They are
Hi, Tynan.
world-class designers. We're working with Sanjay and Eric.
Hi, Sanjay and Eric.
They'll just knock it out of the park immediately. We're working with Priscilla.
Oh, Eric was a
on
gun.
music.
Hi, Priscilla.
And then after that, you go back to the hub. This is where you get their email messages.
I can't wait to read the cat emails. Brendan and Laura are two of the absolute funniest game developers working right now.
I think the game manages to be weird and ridiculous, both in how you play as well as who you meet and what you see.
It's like Die Hard, but with more comedy.
So you've decided to be an insurance commando. Pirates are
You play a character named Nina Pasadena, who used to be one of the best assassins in the galaxy. Now she works as a lowly insurance commando. And then when pirates attack, Nina tries to drive them away and save the crew.
Huh.
And the next vignette is the penthouse. We're using the...
Why would an insurance agent be trying to save the crew? Wouldn't it be like the opposite? Because wouldn't they get a payout if they didn't?
Kind of gives us a very distinctive look, kind of utilitarian sci-fi.
It's a timeless look. I think there's something really nice about using old tech that is solid and just looks wonderful. I'm glad we all got to get together and play through the game a bit. All right. Bye, y'all.
Good morning, Nina. As this ship's premium insurance policy, your mission is to free all members of the crew from the pirate incursion. Due to limitations in the freezing process, equipment must be procured on site. Meowcorp has authorized all necessary property damage.
There's someone on board. Everybody, check in. Alpha here.
This concludes your insurance commando orientation.
Charlie here. Delta here.
Good luck.
Normal here. Thanks, crew. Looking good.
Nina, I heard you're getting back in the game.
Who are these people?
These pirates regenerate.
Oh.
What do I do with the head?
Flush her head down the toilet.
I'm doing something personal, Lion. One job only.
Is the crew all cats?
I want Nina.
Hi, Ace. How are you?
Is everyone ready to fight?
We'll go with you to the end, Nina.
Oh yeah, the crew's all cats.
It's too dangerous.
Danger, wonky space. Danger, wonky space. Enjoy the ride, Bojo.
Huh. Alright. We are smothered in tiger balm. I smell like an old lady. I feel like when I imagine old lady smell, and maybe it's just my grandmother's, I imagine the smell of mothballs. Yeah.
We released Cocoon in 2023.
Good game.
We were so excited to see people play it and see the positive reception it got. It was a really big moment for us as a team. We have partnered with IM8-bit to make a collector's edition of the game and a...
Mothballs smell like...
Making the soundtrack album was a difficult thing because every player has a unique soundtrack when they're playing, like it's never the same for two players. Some of it is recorded from the game directly and some of it was made especially for the soundtrack. We felt Annapurna Interactive was a good fit for us because they had games that had striking art styles and they were like very focused on a unique but smaller experience. We wanted someone who would respect our aesthetic choices. We're partnering with Annapurna Interactive to make a new game, which is unlike anything we've ever worked on before. This is all we have to say for now, but please stay tuned.
See, this is what I'm saying. It's like they just came by to say hi. They didn't have anything to say, except hi.
My name is
Chad, should I get really into vinyls?
Perth in West Australia. I am the sole creator of Lushfall Photography Sim. It's been a long time in the works. I'm very excited to put it out. It should be released early 2025. It's called Lushfall because I just love to stuff as many plants as I can into the scene. I wanted to have a forest.
We're early 2025 right now.
Lush, like walking through all the winds.
What was that controller?
A forest that feels dense, feels lush.
What the fuck is that?
All the winds, all the scene. I wanted to have a forest that feels dense, feels lush. Like walking through all the winds, all the.
What kind of like what kind of like discount off-brand Xbox controller was that?
I want people to make whatever they can out of it. If they want to do something, I don't want to hold them back. I don't want to.
Is that like a dev kit, maybe?
Them to do what they want to do. There are objectives in the game for that kind of player. If they're attentive to details and have a good eye for angles and perspectives, I think they will find this particularly rewarding.
Ooh. Is this Unreal 5? Cat. I think it is. Annapurna region, huh? So it's just kind of a game where you just kind of, it's just a vibe. It's just a vibin' game, it seems. A vibin' photography game.
This is my favorite way to play the game. Just on the couch, just using one hand. That's a great thing about it being a one-button game.
Oh, I've seen this game before.
Steph Tyrion, the creator of
Hi, Steph.
Away, coming in 2025.
I thought it was already out.
Is an infinitely replayable, immersive, cosmic game experience about a shooting star that wants to stay alive and travel and see the universe, and does that by creating constellations in the starry sky. And around this core mode, there's two puzzle modes that work in tandem to learn about the mechanics of the game. It's just me, solo developer. I started in 2010. So it's been on and off for almost 15 years. I've been stealth mode, and now I'm emerging today. So we'll see if they still recognize my face. It started with looking at a starry sky at night and thinking I would like to play something where I would be able to travel this sky that I'm looking at. One way that helps me explain the game is to think about Tetris. Tetris is a very minimal system, but has a lot of depth in it. You can be a beginner and immediately understand it, and you can also be like a very advanced player, and there's like a range. Every time you play it, it's in a random new world.
It's a simple little game.
That was actually the inspiration. How can I make a game that is minimal but deep in the same way? It's been a very difficult project, but I'm really excited about the results.
Yeah, just a little slingshot game. Now hang on.
Wait, are you shooting my shoes?
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not?
My name is Keita Takahashi. I'm a director of 2D. Why I'm here? Because they tell me I need to be here. The game is about the teenager and boy. It's not boy, sorry. The teenager and dog. The dog is fun, cute. Life in the game looks not so boring and beautiful like ours. Giraffe is so cute. You can talk with giraffe in the game, so please play if you like.
If you like.
My name is Giraffe. I went to a school so I could learn how to cook, because I love to eat and share food. Cooking is so amazing. I think it's really magical. Taste, smell, texture, temperature, gotta be just right. I wake up at 3 every morning to bake the bread for sandwiches. Then I go to my tiny garden to pick the ripest vegetables. I wake up at 3 every morning to bake the bread for sandwiches. Then I go to my tiny garden. I really love my rashes. Don't forget to go to the market to buy the best eggs and cheese. Oh, and also we need some spices, mustard, ham, and mayonnaise. When I get home, I cook. Oh, it's so tasty. Let's not be hasty. This is amazing. I am asleep by 7, dreaming up new recipes. Can't wait to see what tomorrow brings.
By the way, To a T is not just a game about food.
Come on in. How you doing? Hello.
Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Toby. I'm the designer of a new game called Morsels.
Toby.
It's coming out in 2025. So I've been working on it for about 4 years now. I was living downtown Toronto, and I was really fascinated with concrete and sort of crumbling textures of the city.
Interesting.
And I told him I was going to make a game about concrete. And I'm not saying that Morsels is a game about concrete, but that was probably the first texture I drew, was the kind of concrete ground layer. This all like full of cracks and potholes and things. And so in some ways, aesthetically, that was kind of the beginning of the game. It's an action roguelike where you play the role of a mouse who finds these magical little cards that give it the power to transform into a bunch of different little monsters. And you go through the world fighting monsters and eventually defeating the evil cat bosses. And that's Morsels.
Morsels looks interesting to me. They didn't do a very good job showing it. Okay, I appreciate the updates, but keep it coming. This was just a tease for what's around the corner. There's a lot more coming. And I don't know, we wait until the next showcase. Just watch the last trailer. Hello. Is this just a PS5 port? Yeah. Wild Hearts is very good. Sayonara Wild Hearts was very, very good. Kind of a shitty way to end a showcase, though, if that's all that was. Yeah, kind of not a good way to end the showcase. More to come? Yeah, if there's more to come, I don't think you needed to have a shit. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, that's not what I mean. That's not. Let me reword. If the point of this showcase was just to tease the fact that you have another showcase, what the fuck is that? I'm not clicking. If the point of this showcase was just to tease the fact that you have another showcase coming, like, because, like, I feel like we didn't really see much. You know what I mean? Like, we got what? We got Skin Deep, which sorry, hang on. It did a weird thing there. You've seen it. We got Wheel World, which looks good. There's a demo of it out now. We were going to try it, but it just didn't land on the wheel. It looks good. Get it? Wanderstop looks awesome. This was not a good trailer of it. It was just a cinematic trailer. But Wanderstop looks very good from previous things that we've seen. And then Skin Deep seemed familiar. This is probably the trailer that we've seen the most of. Was this? And you can kind of see that it goes on for a really long time. Skin Deep looks interesting. I didn't get sold, personally, but I imagine that other people are really into it. Like, I could imagine Fred McKay being fucking super into this game. I forget the name of this one. What was it called? Whatever, photography sim. Very pretty game. Very, very pretty game. Very, very pretty game. Not for me. Very comfy, cozy. Same thing for Far Away. Not for me. Very comfy, cozy, but cool. To a T, I'm excited to hear whether or not it's good because I really want these developers to be successful because they make weird as fuck games. So I want them to be successful. Morsel, we have seen prior. We have seen Morsels before, in way more in-depth than what that was, and I was sold for it before. So it's like, I very much think that they chose the wrong bits to show during this showcase and then ended with a thing that isn't really that big of a deal. They should have showed more. Like, Skin Deep was good. They showed enough of Skin Deep, right? They also showed enough of this photography sim. They didn't show enough of Far Away, I feel. They didn't show enough of To a T. I have no idea what that game is. Cool song, though. They didn't show enough of Morsels, and they didn't show really anything of what Wheel World is or Wanderstop. Like, I feel like this showcase was a nothing burger. Same thing with the Pokemon one yesterday. I feel like this showcase was a nothing burger, which sucks. Because they did have things to show, they just didn't show them. You know what I mean?